The Scene is brought to you by Aqua Adventure Malta, Sabaqua Supplies and Services Limited, Vaseline, Sure.
Good evening and welcome to The Scene, the only show in Malta to bring you the best of Malta. What's on, where to go, what to do, and where to be seen.
Absolutely, every week we're going to be bringing you the best venues, the most exciting events, and letting you know what's coming up in the next 7 days. From festas to festivals, gigs to galleries, and clubs to concerts.
We'll be taking a look at some of the most exclusive locations in Malta, whether you're an islander or just visiting.
We'll also be having a look at some of the activities you can get up to in Malta, from the more obvious to the more obscure.
And finally, we'll be giving you an insider's guide to everything Maltese and how to make the most of the Maltese Islands.
So if you are looking to get the best out of your summer, this is the place to be seen. Malta, Comino and Gozo have one unique treasure, and that is easy and convenient access to the sea. No matter where you are on the islands, you really aren't more than half an hour to 20 minutes away from the coastline.
Absolutely, and I'm dressed for the day today in my beach wear.
Look at you.
This makes the Maltese Islands the perfect location for water sports most days of the year. We've already taken a look at sailing and swimming, but today we're going to venture out and take a look at what's beneath the surface. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going diving. The Maltese Islands really are the ideal diving destination. With dive sites all over the coastline, the weather really can't stop you from taking part here. If the wind's blowing in one direction, you just go to the other side of the island.
And Malta has it all. From historic wrecks to caves, swim-throughs, caverns, arches, a blue hole, marine life, warm waters and dive sites suitable for divers of every ability. From beginner to technical diving. And if that's not enough, visibility is often around 40 metres. Malta has some of the cleanest waters in Europe.
Now, if you're like me and you can't dive, and it's not because I'm scared, for one reason or another, then I'm going to be taking a go at snorkeling, which is another way of enjoying the underwater world. In these dive specials, we'll be taking a look at all aspects of the diving culture.
From learning to dive to what to do and where to go once you're qualified, these dive specials are going to give you all the information you need to enjoy the underwater world. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. Listen, I love diving and I'm so excited to be talking to you about this. If somebody is interested in diving and wants to get into diving and get qualified and start going out there and experiencing the underwater world, where do they start? What do they do?
Very easy. All they need to do is just go to any dive centre and get themselves signed up for either the scuba diver or for the open water course.
Ah, okay. What's the difference?
The scuba diver is literally half of the open water. So if somebody is a little bit nervous about what to do, they can start with the scuba diver program, and if that goes really well, they just carry on and they can then finish as an open water diver without having to start anything new.
Okay, brilliant. But let's say I'm convinced. I want to learn to dive. Yeah. So the course for me is an open water diver. Now tell me, what does that course involve?
Okay, so the open water course involves 3 different sections.
Okay.
It involves the first section in the classroom, so you're learning a little bit about the background, to dive in. Yeah. Then we'll be going into the swimming pool, so you'll learn all of the different skills that you need for when you're going diving, so it's nice and safe. And then we'll be practicing those skills in the open water, actually into the sea.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Now, the first thing you mentioned is going into the classroom, and I haven't been in a classroom for quite a while. Is it a bit scary? Are there any exams?
There is an exam right at the end. Yeah.
Okay.
But don't worry, it's a very easy exam. It's multiple choice.
Oh, brilliant.
And you'll have covered the theory so many times as we've gone through. We watch a video, there is a little book to read, we'll do some quizzes.
Okay.
So by the time you get to the exam, everything is very clear in your head, very simple.
So the classroom is preparation for getting into the water. So by the time you get into the water, you pretty much know everything you need to know.
You have the good background knowledge, yes.
Excellent. And then you get into the water and you put everything into practice.
Exactly.
Brilliant. And you're going to show us what that looks like as well.
Yeah, so we're going to get into the pool and yeah, we're going to get a chance to go into the sea as well.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed.
No problem at all.
Let's get going.
Okay. Okay, hi Hayley. Hello. Welcome to your open water course. All right, we're going to be starting, with some bits and pieces in the classroom. Okay. So what we're going to start with, you're going to watch, a video for each section. Once we've done the video, I'm going to get you to go through a little bit in the book and to fill in a knowledge review. Okay. Once we've done the knowledge review, I'll give you a little quiz, nothing too difficult, little quiz just to make sure that you've understood what I've been talking about. Mm-hmm. Right at the end of the theory, we will do a final exam, but it's all multiple choice questions, so there's nothing really difficult about it. So there's nothing to worry about. Everything's going to be, very clear, very easy here in the classroom.
Okay. How many quizzes are there?
So there's a quiz for the end of each chapter, apart from the last one. So there's 4 quizzes, and then there's the final exam at the end of the 5th chapter. Okay? Any questions?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
My reading.
Smashing. In that case, we'll make a start.
Thank you ever so much
You're
for
welcome.
joining us. Good
Hi.
to see you. How you doing?
Okay.
Listen, you're going to be talking to us about dive kit, what it is, and how to get the right stuff for you. And first up, we're looking at BCDs. So my first question is, what is a BCD? What does that stand for?
Okay, let's start with the definition of a BCD, which is a buoyancy control device.
Okay.
All right, and the function of the BCD is to control the buoyancy during the dive.
Right.
Ascent and descent during the dive.
Okay, and why would I not need to do that? Do I not just jump in the water and swim around and I can go up and down when I want?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
For safety, you need to ascend slowly.
To go up slowly, yeah.
Yes, and even your descent is normally controlled.
So why do I need to go up slowly? Why would that be important?
To avoid injury in the lungs.
In the lungs, okay. So
Because of the air expansion.
So I don't just finish a dive and say, that's it, I've got to go up. I've got to do it.
You go up, but slowly.
Okay, all
and
right.
the BCD, which is basically an air cell,
Okay.
which you inflate and deflate to control.
As if when you're
buoyancy.
swimming, when you put like air in your lungs, it's like a big set of lungs.
Exactly, yeah.
Gotcha. So how does it work? What am I looking at?
Basically, I can get one and have a look at it in closer detail.
Okay, so it's like a jacket that you put on.
It's like a jacket,
Okay.
like a life jacket that you put on. yeah,
Fantastic.
Which is mainly it's an air cell.
Okay.
Which you inflate through the inflator. Inflate.
Uh-huh.
One button inflates and the other button deflates.
And the air comes from where?
Hose is connected to your regulator.
Ah, okay.
So the air comes from the tank, in the same way that you breathe air.
Got it.
from.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, and you inflate and deflate accordingly, depending on your depth.
It sounds a bit difficult. Is it difficult?
Not really. It's just a question of getting used to.
So you just have to practice.
It comes naturally.
Okay, fair
and
enough.
you try to get neutral buoyancy
So that means that
whilst
you're exactly
diving,
even.
yes,
Right,
yes, so
got
that
it.
you don't have to stay controlling all the time whether you're ascending or
Excellent.
descending.
You've got 3 of them here.
Yes.
Okay. Does that mean that there's more than one kind of BCD?
Yes. In essence, the BCD is always an air cell, but then there are different variants.
Okay, so what are we looking
It's just
at
a question of the material and
Right.
fit as well.
here? Okay.
For example, this is a very light
Yeah,
fabric
it is, isn't it?
material. And unlike this, let's say the traditional BCD, it does not have a hard back.
Okay.
'Cause this is a travel BCD
Right.
for divers who travel a lot for
Right.
diving. It's ideal because it's very lightweight, so
Okay.
you don't have to stay carrying a lot of heavy equipment with you.
Excellent.
Plus, it's very compact because it can fold.
Oh, it folds right down really. Look at that! It folds really small. Excellent. Brilliant. So what's the other ones that we've got here as well then? So this one's for travelling.
Yes.
What's this one here for?
This one, for example, is a standard BCD for for all kinds of diving.
Okay.
You have a soft back. Material is heavier because it's thicker, Cordura
Okay.
material, and it's more resistant
Okay.
to wear and tear. Now, the difference with this is that you have these small pockets here,
Right.
which are the weight pockets.
Ah,
This is what we call a weight integrated BCD,
very nice.
where you have the weights integrated in the.
And what about this one here that we've got here?
Now, this is a different type of BCD. This is a wing type,
Wow.
where you have all the air cell at the back.
Right.
Back mounted as well. It's also known as a back mounted BCD, where all the air
Yeah.
goes at the back,
Okay. Okay.
so that around you, no.
So who would
it
want
does
to
not
use this
inflate.
one?
This is normally for technical
Right,
diving.
it's not the same. Okay, okay. So how would I decide, very briefly, I mean, they all look amazing and very, very nice actually. How do I decide which is the right one for me?
It depends on what type of diving you do.
Right.
If it's technical diving or recreational diving, you normally need the right BCD.
And I'm
for
quite
what you're
sure
doing.
that someone like yourself will be on hand to tell me which one to get.
Sure.
Brilliant! Thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you.
See you on the next show.
Okay, thanks.
Today's Where to Go is here on Comino. And Comino is the small island that sits between Malta and Gozo and is a great dive destination in its own right. The dives that we're going to be having a look at today is the Santa Maria and Santa Maria Caves, which has the most amazing marine life, but also beautiful caves as well. And we'll also be having a look at the P31, a more recently scuttled wreck, and we'll be having a good explore of that. Can't wait to get going. Malta, Gozo and Comino have a great number of scuppered wrecks sitting on white sands in clear waters and covered in marine life. The islands are a must for wreck diving for divers of all abilities, with World War II wrecks as shallow as 15 metres and First World War wrecks at 65 metres for technical divers, and everything in between.
Ian, nice to meet you again.
Good to see you.
Thanks for meeting me here. Now, I'm going to be having a little bit of a go at snorkeling.
That's right.
Today. Now, first of all, is there any safety concerns I should be aware of, equipment or things I should be aware of whilst out on the water?
You always have to be a little bit careful in the water.
Sure.
Obviously, around Malta at the moment, we have plenty of swim zones been set up, by the government, so that's great.
And these are
for
the
us to
areas
use.
with the inflatable
Yeah, you've
ropes.
got all the little marker buoys out, with the ropes, so that's a perfect area to go.
Okay.
If you do go a little bit further out than that, make sure you've got a marker buoy that's attached to you, so
Right.
that any boats or anything like that can always see you.
So just generally common sense, keep your eyes out, make sure you're visible to others.
Exactly.
And be. What about marine life? Is there anything to be scared of there?
Not really. Obviously, where you have to be careful is more when you're getting in and out of the water. When you're in the water, there's not too much that's going to hurt you. Maybe keep an eye out for jellyfish.
Ah, yes, of course. Fantastic. Ian, so let's get going. I'm keen to start the snorkeling. You've got some kit here. Do you want to talk me through it, explain to me what's going on? Now, I understand these are called fins.
These are called fins, not flippers.
Not flippers.
Not flippers.
Right, okay. Flippers are dolphin,
fins.
isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. All right. Doesn't matter which foot you put them on.
Oh, right,
There's no left or right.
Ambidextrous.
Exactly. Very easy.
So you just slip them on?
Just slip them on, and that's it. Now,
okay.
you can put both on, but then never walk with your fins on, because otherwise you end up with a very sore nose because you just hit the floor.
Because okay, so the best thing is to wait until you're in the water.
Exactly, and then put them on there.
So I'll leave one on now for now then. That's great. So this is basically going to obviously help me swim with little effort,
Exactly, gives
I
you
assume.
stability in the water and helps you move a little bit quicker.
Great stuff. And what's the movement I need to adopt here?
Literally keep your legs nice and straight and just move your legs up and down.
I can do that. And what else have you got?
All right, so the other things that I've got for you here is just your mask and your snorkel.
Right.
Snorkel would always, be on the left-hand side because that's the way that it's shaped.
Okay.
Ready, so it's easier to go in the mouth. And then literally put it on. Strap, goes behind the back of the head, and you just make sure that it's nice and comfortable.
So this, obviously, I've seen people snorkeling. This stays above the water, so to allow
Exactly.
me a breathing
Yes.
area. But can you still go underwater?
As soon as you go underwater, just hold your breath, as you go underwater, and as you come back up, breathe out. Most of the water will be blown out the bottom, but any else will just be blown out the top.
Right.
And then you're ready to go
So
again
you
without
because it
taking
may
out your
fill
mouth.
up with water, so just kind of as you come out.
As you come up.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on now, so you can make sure that I've got it on correctly. All right, so got the mask.
Yep, we are good to go. Excellent.
that's all we've got time for you in this show. But if you want to find out any more about this show, anything about diving, anything about anything we do at The Scene, go onto our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Scene in Malta.
Indeed, and if you want to watch this show again or any of the previous in the series, find us on YouTube, search under Brave Media Malta. Make the most of your week, and until next week, ciao.
The Scene is brought to you by Aqua Adventure Malta, Sabaqua Supplies and Services Limited, Vaseline, Sure.